All right. So, Onewheel Pint. I love it, but I've got some bad news. So I've posted all those videos, enjoying my pint, loving my pint, and then what happened? I fell down. Well, I'll back up even more. What happened was I started randomly getting in the Onewheel app a firmware connection issue where my phone app would stop connecting to my pint. What would happen then is it would then tell me to update the firmware. It wouldn't work. It would tell me the firmware didn't connect or something or other, and it would fail. But I could recharge the board, I could turn the board off, I could turn the board on. Everything worked fine. So I just kept riding that way for like a month. Then I was, just going for a quick little cruise. Went right out the garage here, my very, very messy garage. Went right out the driveway, and then all of a sudden, it was no big deal. It was a slow speed crash. I just scuffed up my elbow again, which is just finally healing from the last time I fell. The first time was completely my fault. But skidded. And maybe I should turn this off. I guess Onewheel's getting angry at me. But so it was super weird because I was just coming out of the garage. I just turned it on, didn't think anything of it, and all of a sudden I just ate it. And it was weird because there was no pushback, there was no warning. I just was on the ground. But then when I went back to the board was off. And anytime I've crashed in the past, when I've gone back to the board, it's usually just blinking like a hazard light, or I get like a wheel slip notification on the app. I got none of that. The board was just straight up off. Whatever. Didn't think anything of it. I actually turned it back on, wrapped up my bleeding arm, and then continued on with what I was doing. The next day, went to go for a quick ride, powered up, made it 3 feet, and then the board just cut out again. And I went, wait, did I do something wrong? Was that weird? But then turned it back on, rode around in my backyard for a while, had no issues. Like, whatever, maybe it was just a fluke. Then the third day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it for a real ride, gonna max out again, go full speed, try to use the whole battery, see what happens. And the entire ride, I'm like, I am so ready to crash. I'm just, know what's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna crash. So just anticipate, and like, again, one of the best features is I put the fangs on the front of the pint here. So hopefully, it won't save me from nosediving, but if the nose goes down, it'll hopefully give me some skid time to slow me down, and then I can run it out. But so, whatever, I make it like, 15, 20 minutes, everything's fine. I'm on my way back, and then out of completely nowhere, nose just checks the ground, I go flying. Thankfully, I was really, really like prepared like a cat that it was gonna happen. And even though I was basically going full speed, I was able to just kind of run it out. It was on flat ground, nothing was in front of me. Just ran it out. So, it was at that point, I got on the phone with Onewheel, and I'm like, or Future Motion, and I'm like, what's the deal? I'm having this connection issue, which is very frustrating because it doesn't happen consistently. Like, I've tried it the last couple days, and it's not happened again. Like, I'll try it right now. Let's see. Turning the board on. Let's go into the app. Apparoni. Let's see here. This is compelling video. Okay, we got a screen record on. All right, let's open up the app. App is open. Let's see if it wants to connect today. Yep, no problem. But literally 50% of the time, it'll go to connect, and it won't connect, and then it'll tell me there's a firmware issue. So we'll keep it connected now, see if anything happens. But, so, I called Future Motion. They said, yeah, that's not good. So, send it back, and we'll try to fix it out. So, hopefully, it actually gets fixed, because the problem with the board in this current configuration is not that I can't go slow, and not that I can't just like go around the yard or play with the kids or something. I can't trust that the board will work, especially at speed. So that means you can't take it out on an errand, you can't take it out for leisure, you can't go anywhere near top speed, because there's a really strong chance that if you crash on that, it's much harder to run out the fall. So it's a really frustrating place to be, because I want it to work. I want it to work so bad, especially during the whole lockdown. It's been so much fun to be able to get out and cruise around, get a little stress release and all that stuff. So normally it would be very, very exciting to get a gigantic box from Onewheel like this. But unfortunately, this is not any normal box. This is let's see what we got here. This is look at this. Oh, that's ridiculous. They even sent me an XR. So this is a Onewheel Plus box. That's funny. So they sent me a Onewheel Plus box to mail back the pint. And no, this box was not free. I had to pay $20 for this, and I requested it 2 weeks ago. It took 2 weeks of shipping to get this box from California to New York. Amazing, the absolute slowest I've ever seen. But, so, I have to now take all my bits, my aftermarket bits, like my Craft and Ride awesome magnetic fender, and I gotta take this whole float plate off. I gotta ship this bad boy back. So it's a super bummer, but you know, I want to get it back riding. I want to also be able to trust that it will work, and I also don't want to be like crazy. Like it's driving me nuts that I'm having problems with it and I can't like figure out why they keep happening. So hopefully Onewheel's able to get to the bottom of it, whether it's just they're gonna wipe the computer or reattach everything. Like I never really mucked around with any of the guts of this, so hopefully they're able to get to the bottom of it real quick, replace it and fix it, and then we'll hopefully be able to do another ride video super soon. So that's it. I have nothing else. I'll update you when I update you. Cool. Last glimpse of this guy for a while before it goes in the box. Alright, hold on.